The CPS system is broken at a national level because of Title 4E, because there is not due process.
Attorneys Sarah Clay and Karen Faulkner are just two of several lawyers who say social workers are taking kids out of homes illegally.
What is currently in place has caused numerous issues.
Here's how it works. If someone from the Kentucky Cabinet of Health and Family Services believes a child needs to be removed from a home because of abuse, neglect, or drug use, they'll fill out this emergency custody order.
The court has to find that either the child is in danger of imminent death or serious physical injury. The system that's in place allows a worker for the cabinet to essentially create their own court order without a judge ever seeing it.
The blank orders are pre-signed by a judge, and then copies are made. All a social worker does is fill them out.
A lot of constitutional implications when you're taking someone's children away. They have a liberty interest in raising their own children. There's also, of course, serious trauma to children.
Fiscal year 2018, the Inspector General found 6 employees had either falsified case notes or provided false testimony in court. 2017, there were also 6 employees. 2016, 10. They involved DCFS investigators and caseworkers, as well as private agency employees. Those 35 employees did have their licenses either revoked, relinquished, or suspended, and some even had charges brought against them.
A judge ruled last year that these agreements are unlawful and that the department violated the constitutional rights of these parents. So that's why we're looking into this. Closed meeting notes show that the attorney for DSS at that time, David Moore, told the board that he thought Cindy Palmer had committed perjury in her testimony to a district court judge in February 2018. He also told them that she could be charged with felony crimes in connection to these custody and visitation agreements.
No one's willing to say why Department of Human Services Inspector General Carolyn Ham is on leave.
Ham's department has not exactly been forthcoming with this news today. We have had to tease it out of them, essentially. Last week, an audit called out a serious rift between Ham and the investigators who have to look into fraud in the state's child care assistance program. Last week, the head of DHS's investigative unit looking into child care fraud said that perhaps as much as half of the $217 million spent on the program per year was going to fraud.
Welcome back. We have a very disturbing story of an attorney, 67-year-old grandmother who has been practicing law for 25 years. She is concerned about child separation, children being separated from their families. No, not at the border. No, these are American citizens. Black, white, Hispanic, you name it. Having their children kidnapped by CPS. And because she was talking about it, because she refused to be gagged, she has now been arrested. 67-year-old grandmother who's been practicing law for 25 years, advocating for the rights of families, fully intending to intimidate her and to silence her as she exposes corruption in the Tennessee family courts where parents are denied due process of law when their children are seized.
I've been an attorney for 25 years. I know the law. I know what constitutional rights are for parents, and I have been a thorn in their side. And now this particular case that they are using is one in which they got an ex parte order. I didn't know at that time, but they had already had another hearing behind her back. They didn't call her and tell her they had a hearing. They didn't call her and tell her they had filed anything. They did everything ex parte. Not even the judge in that county signed the order, that they took it to another county and got an order signed by a judge who is not even the county judge. This being able to cart your documents off by DCS workers to another county under the claim that they've got some freaking emergency, it has got to stop. It is a constitutional right to be able to parent your children and to do so in a safe and secure home without the interference with the government. And they abuse the ex parte process all the time. People have got to wrap their head around this. It is money driven. It is a bureaucracy that is feasting on our children. It is feasting on our kids. And we have got to put our foot down and we've got to go after them. And they're making these ex parte orders on anonymous tips, on vague allegations that they have no substance. They're doing no investigation. I mean, they made allegations that mom was a drug dealer. They never showed mom was a drug dealer. So, and let's talk about what happened. So that was last August. The kids are home, and the kids are home with mom, and DCS dismissed their case. They dismissed their case against her.
Right.
They had taken these children, they had shipped them 300 miles away in foster homes in which there was needles and bars on the windows and in a culturally inappropriate setting that was totally not the family setting that foster care was supposed to be. They have been in 6 placements in less than a year. They had been moved to respite homes, in different homes. They had been displaced again recently in May, where the foster mother said, I don't want them anymore. And these were kids who were told in, about February that they were never going to go home. They told these kids they would never go home to their mom. I mean, that people want to talk about, whine and cry about immigration and family separation at the freaking border. You need to be looking around your neighborhood, because enough is enough. And, I'll talk about, they complain that I call it donkey justice and kangaroo court, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to say right here, it is the United States Supreme Court who first used the word kangaroo court in In re Galt in the 70s because of the way the juvenile court system treated children.
Title IV is a series of federal laws through the Social Security Act that directly fund the state family courts. Great minds in family courts studied the laws and figured out how to maximize their federal dollars. In foster care, at-risk kids are removed from homes. The more kids they remove, the more federal dollars flow. So child protection agencies use virtually any excuse to nab kids from perfectly good homes. Foster kids are the most likely candidates for child trafficking. Title IV laws are destroying families. Millions of children are affected every year. We need to stop Title IV funding now. Contact and educate your representatives. Plan or attend family court reform events. Educate others. Spread the word. We need to end Title IV funding now.